dwarves have beards?
Mine doesn't.
Like Terry
Pratchett's do. She's a liberal.
Okay, so how do you develop characters?
I look at the world and I look at potentially the story that I'm wanting to tell, and I say, what would be the most interesting characters to see this story unfold through their perspective? Who is this going to matter most to? What characters are going to have the highest stakes in this world? Who could lose the most? And who is going to be the most interesting to follow?
Yeah.
Well, and I do some, when I'm doing the world building, I come up with, here's something I'm working on right now, a big fantasy novel. We're developing the religion. And in this world, the humans were not created by their gods, they're created by like the elven race, the secondary race. So they have no gods. And then a group of humans goes off to a new continent where the land is just suffused with magic and it's all powerful. So what, like in ancient Rome, where they would think that there was a river god over there and a forest spirit and stuff. So there are no gods, but these people think, oh, there's a river god over there, and they believe in it. And because there's magic in the world, they actually create the god, and then they see it. And when they see it, they believe in it more, so that gives it more power, and they manifest it. And I thought that's a really cool way of doing gods and religion, so they can actually create their own. But they don't know they did that. So I have to create a priesthood that does know that if they don't keep the people believing in it, the gods won't stay powerful. And so one of my characters is the priest lord who knows this, and he's got to keep basically deceiving these people so that they keep needing the gods to save them, so that they will keep believing in the gods. And so it's building, because of that interesting thing I came up with, I needed a character so that I could explore the aspects of that, and that turned him into an interesting character. And so it all is circular and feeds on each other, not just one thing at a time.
The three rules that I think of are, what are the big conflicts, who is going to be in the most pain, and who will get to make the most interesting decisions. And those help me decide who the characters are going to be. We have time for 2 questions left, and it's going to be you and you, okay? We'll go with you first.
Okay, so if you're going, let's say you're writing a novel and you have something in it like a demon or a vampire. I have a certain image in my mind of what a demon or a vampire is because of what I've read. But I know that there's probably literature and fantasy novels that maybe have different definitions and rules around demons or vampires. So how do I know how much I need to create for the audience so that they understand how a demon or a vampire would work in the world I've created? How do I know where that limit is, or okay, they'll get it after this point?
I would suggest, with something like vampires, there's a kind of baseline vampire that most people more or less agree on. Whatever makes yours different, make sure that gets explained or described or demonstrated fairly early on. So we're like, oh, they're vampires, except they sparkle in the sunshine, or whatever it is you're doing differently with your vampires. Any other comments on that? All right, well then we're on to your question.
All right. When you're taking your example of, if you're talking about the religion, all right, or especially when you're dealing with magic, creating this magic system, as you create something, it ends up getting there are details that just you fall in love with, it gets complex. Yeah, this is awesome. How do you restrain yourself from explaining how awesome it is? Because I find myself going, yes, and then you get the opportunity to tell them how this works, because that's awesome too. And then I'm like, I have a lot of stuff in here that's really, but it's so awesome, how can I leave it out? How do you fight with that? I don't want to keep dropping characters like, and then this person showed up, and you have to explain a little bit. You don't have those weirdo characters who are talking in just to ask the question. The exposition characters like on series.
Figure out the trick.
Yeah, but it's like, oh hey, can you help me get here? Because I don't know. Let me explain this other thing.
Well, there's the 3 magic words, which is show, don't tell. And if it's really that awesome, you don't want somebody to explain it, you want somebody to see it. Like when I turn one of these, they're called goblins. I turn one of the goblins loose. I don't explain it. The priest is turning it loose to attack this village, and it's all kinds of action, and the priest is watching it happen, and everybody's like terrified because it's this monstrous thing that's taking. But he's going, I know we only did this many sacrifices and he's only got 1 hour of this energy left, and if he doesn't finish wiping out that village before that, then he's gonna run out of power and I'm gonna look like a real douche. So that's